Hi everyone, I missed you so much. Thank you for listening today, clicking on this video. Today we're going to be talking about confidence. That is a topic of discussion. But before we start, I wanted to give some updates about where I've been at. Okay, what's new with me? So the last episode I put out was with my friends. We were in New York and we were just having good old-fashioned girl talk, and something that was discussed in that podcast was the aspect of like forgiveness and apologizing, which has been recurrent in my life lately. Like things have been calling me out, I guess, of like I literally played a card game the other day with some girls in the girl games club, and the card was, is there somebody that you owe an apology or something like that, or like a relationship that you need to mend? And I was like, dang, like, yeah, I actually feel like I owe people apologies. Just like as you mature and you grow up, you realize like you equally could have played a part in the downfall of certain relationships and friendships. So yeah, that was what was talked about in the last podcast. And that was on our New York trip. We had gone for like a few days. I stayed with my cousin the first night, and he lives in the most beautiful skyrise in Manhattan. And I'm actually going back next month because he said that I said that I really loved New York, the vibe there, and I love how walkable it is. And it just made me feel so motivated. And so he was like, yeah, to be honest, you can come during the warmer months and just like go back to San Diego on the months that are kind of bad weather here. He's like, New York is pretty, maybe 6 months out of the year, and then you can go back to San Diego. So I was like, duh, I'm going to take him up on that. And some people say that just to be courteous, but I am the type, like, if you offer, I will take you up on the offer, but not in like using them type of way, because I am going to actually film for him. So I told him that I really admire his lifestyle because he's a surgeon, a heart surgeon, and his wife's a dermatologist, but they live so freely and they're so spontaneous. He literally went to Coachella last year twice just to see Blackpink. And I don't know, I just feel like he doesn't let his work life get in the way of his real life. And just growing up, I always looked up to him. He always had friends in every city we would be in, or we'd be on vacation in, like, I think we went to Canada, and he was like, oh, I'm going to meet up with some friends. And I'm like, why do you have friends in Canada? But that's just the type of person he is. So I told him that I really want to document his life, maybe like make TikToks or YouTube. I feel like YouTube is popping off, and just like for longevity, YouTube is always the vibe. But I don't know, like I don't know if I want to take his content in the direction of more educational or just more like aspirational, like you can achieve, work-life balance no matter what job you have. I don't know. If you have ideas, let me know, because he's so fun. Even like when I went to visit him, he got off work at like 10 p.m. after having an emergency surgery, and then he just went to get sushi with me. But yeah, I'm gonna go back next month, record him and edit for him, but then also like hopefully do my own little editing and just have a staycation. I probably won't really do much since I was just there, but I'll just, even just chilling in his living room was such a vibe because his view is just so beautiful. But yeah, oh my gosh, why am I getting excited just thinking about it? And it's crazy because last year my friends and I, we would go to different cities seeing like which one we would want to move to. We were like Boston, not it. Like love Boston, but not it for moving. Went to Austin, Texas. We went to, I feel like we went somewhere else. We went to multiple places, but the common consensus was like, no, San Diego is it. But then we met its match with New York, just because like it's such a vibe. And like even in San Diego, I live in a place like a little beach town, so it feels so community based, so community oriented, and you could walk. Like I walk to the beach from the gym, and it's a 15-minute walk, and then I walk to get food. You can literally walk wherever. So I really love that. And yeah, what else? I'm looking for a new apartment in San Diego. It's time to move. We're going to move. I'm going to move with my roommate, just one of them, because the other one is moving in with her boyfriend. We love that for her. Like, actually love that for her, because I feel like they're about to get married. So yeah, gonna move out with my roommate, who's also like my best friend. We want to live in the same area, just like closer to the beach. And I am ready, and I'm just like manifesting a really bright space, because honestly, if your room is not bright, your emotional state takes a toll. Like, my boyfriend has blackout curtains, and I feel like his mood just be, more down when his like, I'm like, when his curtains are down, his mood is down. But actually, like, the brightness I love right now, like, I have a lot of trees around my room, and like outside, and then I hear the birds chirping, and I just love it. So I'm looking for something. Let's send good energy, a a place that's in my budget, good lighting, my plants will thrive there. On another note, I learned how to repot my plants yesterday. Literally, all of my plants were dying. And like, if you have plants, I don't know if you feel the same way, but if your plants are not doing well, you're kind of like, you feel guilty, you feel a little down, like you're like, you want them to thrive, because if your plants are thriving, you're doing something right. And yeah, so my plants have not been thriving, and they were infested with fleas, like little gnats. So I put them outside, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to get to it. Weeks later, they were dying in the rain. And then finally, like, my neighbor actually is like a huge plant mom. I could see all her plants in her windows. So I literally knocked on her door, and I was like, I need you to help me, because like, whatever it is, whatever you tell me to do, I want to do it. She sat outside with me yesterday for an hour, getting dirty on her hands and knees, like literally digging out the fleas and hosing down my plants. So yeah, now they're repotted. They're super happy. And I bought her a plant today. I went like after my boxing class, and I got her like a really pretty plant. I actually have the same one. It has pink leaves, because she kept complimenting mine, and she was like, this is the most beautiful plant. So I was like, okay, bet. I'm going to give her a thank you. And so, yeah, I feel really like accomplished, and I'm staring at my plants now, and I'm like, that's what was missing in my life, because my room was just lifeless. But as far as what's new with me, you guys might be proud to hear that I finished the book Mastery finally. I feel like it was more at the end, it was just reminders rather than like new things that I didn't know. But it was really like just such a good book. And if you read it, you will not regret it, regardless of what your job is, what you want to do. Like, it just gives you so much motivation and inspiration, and you're like acknowledging the gifts that you have. And I started reading a new book, which is going to be like my segue into the new or today's topic, but I'll save that for like 5 minutes from now, because I really missed you guys. But yeah, what else? I went to church yesterday. I've been going to church. I've been listening to church, like the recordings. I am so happy that I found a church that I really actually like. And it's like a bunch of young people, and they dress super cute. Not that that's, important, but it just makes it more fun. And they have a little coffee shop there. And the pastor, he is so funny. He reminds me of George Lopez. He just drops like, low key, he roasts the audience. Like, I really feel like I'm in stand-up comedy. And I love that, like, it's preachy, but it's also just practical and relatable in everyday life. It's like, I feel like I'm listening to a motivational speech, which you guys know I love my motivational podcast. So I've been loving church. So happy I found a place. Everyone's fairly young, and it's just diverse and very good vibes. And it honestly like makes me want to like host community events, because that's, I think, what I had been craving, is just small scale community events, community gatherings. I feel like I had my gym for a little bit, and I still do, but we don't really get together as much anymore, just because everyone's busy. And yeah, I miss it. So I'm glad I found this church. And actually, funny enough, one of my good friends at my gym, she showed me the church. So shout out to Lily. And I've been going consistently. Love that. Love having a routine. Honestly, I was talking about it the other day with my friend, but it's so funny to me. Now that I don't work a 9 to 5, people think that I just wake up at the most random hours of the day. They're like, what do you even do all day? Are you so bored out of your mind? Do you still have a routine? And I'm like, yes, you guys. Like, I still wake up 6:30 a.m., do my journaling, read a book. I've been trying to read more like every single day for 15 minutes and time block that into my schedule, which time blocking has been working so well for me lately. So I've been doing that. And then I will have my breakfast, usually do like either I'll have coaching or I started doing either like dance class or boxing in the morning. And then I'll try to do my workout, my lift in the afternoon because I just have the most energy then. Surprisingly enough, like most physical energy and then my mental energy is gone at that point. Like in the morning, I have so much mental energy so I can, take a class, I can read, whatever, and get my work done. And then I work on Girl Gains, of course, in the day. I've also been allocating a lot of my energy on YouTube Shorts. Like, I feel like it's fun to treat it like a game and a strategy and be like, okay, like, how can I make content that sticks with people, that helps people, but then it's also like feel good content that people like watching? Because, like, I feel like sometimes we get addicted to watching like toxic stuff, but if I can get people addicted to watching like good vibe stuff, like hopecore, maybe I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if that makes sense, but I've been trying to apply more strategy and I have just been having fun with it, and I'm glad that I am not stressed out about it anymore. Like, I feel like with TikTok, I was just overwhelmed and I wouldn't look at the numbers and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I don't know what I'm doing. But now I just look at it as like feedback and like trying to make more of what people actually want, because there's a point where the more you just make content and it's just for you and you're not providing any value, then you're kind of just, I don't know, you just reach a point where it's not as fulfilling as if you were to make content that will help people or like is appreciated. But yeah, that's pretty much my focus of quarter 2. Quarterly planning, I'm not even trying to make this a productivity podcast right now, but quarterly planning has been the most game-changing strategy for me because it's like it keeps me on track. When you set a goal at the beginning of the year and you kind of fall off and you're like, it's already 3 months in and I fell off and I can't really pick back up. But quarterly planning is like you intentionally reset goals every 3 months. It's not like, oh, you fell off. It's like you're reminding yourself or you're setting new goals, and that keeps you on track of where you want to go. So yeah, that's what I have been obsessed with. And today's video is all about confidence tips, and confidence hacks, things that I've learned along the way in my journey to becoming a more confident version of myself. And growing up, I have always been the one who would compare myself to others. I've always lacked confidence, and I never thought that confidence was something that you can grow and improve upon. I always thought if you are shy, you're shy. If you lack confidence, that's just who you are and you can't do anything about it. But that is very far from being true. And these are just the things that I've learned along the way, and I'm still learning in my pursuit of being the most confident version of myself. And to me, confidence is being fully yourself, being authentically yourself without worrying about what other people will think of you. You are going to show up as yourself no matter what, and you know that you are worthy as you are, with or without your accomplishments. You are not your career, you are not your achievements, you are not your gold medals. You are worthy and whole right now, here as you are, and those things just enhance, but they don't make you who you are, and they don't determine your worthiness. So this really hit me when, so I was quitting my 9 to 5 as a medical assistant, but I was a medical assistant. And I had just gotten the job as a personal trainer, a group fitness coach at my gym. And before I even started, I was like, I can clearly see myself if I don't take conscious action now. I can see myself in like a few months identifying as a personal trainer and attaching my worth to that thing. But I need to remind myself that I am worthy and I am me with or without that job. Okay, so in 3 months down the line, yes, I can say I'm a personal trainer, I'm a group fitness coach, but I'm not going to say I am I am worthy because I am a group fitness coach, if that makes sense. Like I am worthy before that and I'm worthy after that. When I stop doing this job, I will still be worthy and I will still like be me. So that just proved to me that I am not my job. And it sounds like very obvious, but I feel like we get so worked up, especially in like hustle culture and just our society. We get so caught up in our accomplishments and striving for more and proving to people that we are worthy, but we need to just give ourselves that approval. Like we need to give ourselves the praise and trust ourselves and be like, "Hey, no, I'm proud of myself with or without that. I I know that I am worthy of anything that I want. I'm worthy of beautiful things, and it doesn't matter what my title is. It doesn't matter how many followers you have or how many views you get. You know what I mean? So, I think just reminding yourself that before you jump into anything, like before you start taking on new tasks or taking on a goal or a hobby, right? Like we sometimes we get fixated on our hobbies and we are like, "Oh no, now I have to get better at this because like this is me now." But just knowing that like we are like whole as we are, and life is not about what you achieve or what you fail at, but it's a product of your reaction and responses to those things and how you let that shape you. So, I want to also mention what inspired me to make this video the topic today. And I was reading this book. I just started actually like a few days ago, but it's called Thinking Fast and Slow. And it was talking about how basically we are animals, right? Okay, so we have been molded by evolution and like since the hunter gatherer days, right? We were designed or we learned to care about certain things, which was like we learned to need group approval and we learned to like coexist in a group because the people that were in a group had a higher likelihood that they would survive because they have like everyone together, they have materials, and they're kind of like all helping each other out. So they were like needing to have a leader, they were needing to adopt everyone's beliefs and stuff like that. Stay with me. I'm sorry if it's like getting out of, all over the place. But, anyways, they needed group approval. So they, shared the same beliefs. They made sure that they kind of like looked the same. They made sure that they didn't step on toes. And so that has always kind of stayed with us time and like over the decades, and so that is a reason why, like, if you've ever wondered why do I care so much what people think about me, it's because it's literally like built in us to care, even if you try to convince yourself that you don't care. So I feel like now knowing like the history behind it and like the evolutionary purpose can help you, instead of like fighting it, you can work with that. And so for me, I was like, okay, we care so much about what other people think of us because it was for survival purposes, and our brains are wired to survive and not thrive. I didn't make that quote up. I don't know where I heard it, but it really made sense. Like, just because you're thinking anxious thoughts or you're thinking like, is that person judging me? I'm worried about what this person thinks of me. In evolutionary history, you are supposed to think like life or death. If this person doesn't like me, that's literal death, right? Like if I'm not accepted in this group, my life is at risk. But now we know our lives are obviously not at risk. So you can kind of like overcome those fears and overcome those thoughts and realize that, like, no, I'm going to be fine either way, and I'm going to keep being me. And I know that, like, over time, as long as I'm being myself, that is going to attract the right people, and the same like-minded people are going to respect my authenticity, and that's going to allow them to be more themselves. So it's not that, like, everybody is like one way and you are the outcast and, like, you are not liked and whatever the case. It's just that, like, people mold to a group because they feel like they need that acceptance for life or death reasons, and they're scared to be themselves. But if you can be yourself, you give other people that space to explore who they really are, and you empower them to be authentically themselves. So I know it's like, that was kind of a long-winded explanation, but basically, we don't need to fear what other people think, and we can develop confidence in ourselves, which will actually benefit us in the long run, obviously. But okay, now let's get to, like, the actual tangible tips of how to find and develop more confidence as somebody who maybe lacks it. And first things first is knowing that change is possible, and like anything, confidence is a skill that can be acquired and that you just have to work on, and you have to make intentional effort to be that way, right? Like, you fake it till you make it. I mean, that doesn't work for some people, and for me, it was more like, instead of faking it till you make it, it's be as you wish to seem. And that is my number one tip, not in order, just one. Be as you wish to seem. So people, one, they cannot read minds, right? So if you are in a room and you're very nervous, being as you wish to seem. So if even just thinking, like, how would a calm person act right now? I like to think of a mentor in different aspects. So we all know somebody who's calm. We know somebody who's really confident. We know somebody who's disciplined, right? So you have different mentors in your mind that you think about. It could be anyone, your mom, your friend, your neighbor, whoever, person on social media that you really like. And you can think, what would this person do right now in my situation, right? I'm nervous. I'm in a crowded room. What would that person, how would they behave? How would they look? How would they stand? And how can I embody that right now? So you're kind of having, like, an alternate persona, but not in a fraudulent type of way. You're just, like, embodying what your calm friend would look like, or your confident friend. I have a friend who, when we go out, she just exudes, like, feminine energy. She exudes the warmest energy. She sits with her shoulders high, her head high, and she smiles at people and she waves, and literally will walk past people on the street and she'll be like, hi. And I'm just like, okay, notes being taken, because, you know, when we were walking on the street, we kind of feel awkward walking past people. Making eye contact can be uncomfortable. But if I'm like, oh no, I'm going to act like my best friend in this situation, like, how would she act? And maybe I'll give a smile, or maybe it's like a smirk, but that's more than what I would have done without being intentional about it. So think of people that you can embody. What would the person I admire do in this situation? How would my confident baddie bestie act? And how can I act like that? And practice doing that. And I watched this TikTok a while ago, and it was like, the secret to being confident when you're entering a room, because I think that's what people get most nervous around, when it's like a crowded room or you're entering a store and people look at you when you come in. The key is, you're gonna stand with your shoulders back, your head tall, okay, and you're gonna scan the room, make eye contact with maybe two people, scan the room, and then you're just gonna walk to where you need to go. But that's like the first thing you do. So instead of just like head down walking, you're walking in, glance, look around, make eye contact, maybe smile, then you walk to where you need to go. And when I tell you, I did that, and I'm not even kidding. I feel like I've talked about this before, but I did that in a coffee shop. I walked in, scanned the room, and I just wanted to see, like, if I could see myself working there, like, later in the week, and then I left. And then this guy literally like unplugs his computer from the outlet with his laptop. He runs down the street and he's like, excuse me, like, I have to stop you. How are you so zen? How are you so, like, I don't know, you just radiate, like, such peaceful zen energy. He kept saying zen. And I was like, I don't know. I just wanted to see if I liked the coffee shop. And yeah, he was like, oh my gosh, like, I just want to say, like, he literally asked me if I was high because of how chill I was. And I was like, buddy, it's 8 a.m. That's an 8 p.m. activity. Yeah, so just like your body language and also just not being afraid to make eye contact with like one or two people, that can change how your confidence is perceived like significantly, even if you're not actually like, I could have looked at those people and in my head been like, oh my gosh, like I wonder if they think I look weird or like whatever, but people don't, they can't read your mind. So it's more just like your body language and like how you can alter that in social situations to appear more confident. I want to also say, like, we tend to slouch because we want to shrink and we don't want to like take up space and be seen or look, I don't know, for me I'm just like, oh, I don't want to look like a conceited girl and but I feel like actually having better posture takes away less attention to you than having like walking around like this and your head down, because you're gonna more notice like a hunchback than somebody just with tall posture. So tweaks to your body language, and then thinking about a person that you admire and what would they do in that social setting. And then just to add on to that, like surrounding yourself with confident people, or however you want to be seen, surrounding yourself with people that you view as that is, I feel like, the quickest way that you're going to get there, because you can take note on like the way, even just the way they speak about themselves, you will start to like internalize that with yourself. Because like my confident friends, my like truly confident, like my best friend that I was talking about, she has so much self-respect and she speaks about herself very highly. She has boundaries, and that is just a part of like what builds her self-respect, because when she develops those boundaries, other people respect them, and then they're like, wow, that is a confident girl to be able to verbalize her boundaries and like, you know, set that intention. So have confident friends and set boundaries. I feel like that was very vague. But like boundaries doesn't like, I feel like, to be honest, like whenever somebody just like stands up for themselves or is like, hey, no, I'm sorry, I don't check my phone after 9 p.m., but I'll get back to you in the morning. I'm like, girl, you're not letting people walk all over you. You're not a people pleaser. You're respectful of people, but you're not over here like letting them, you know, walk all over you. And showing other people that you respect yourself sends the message of what you will tolerate and how people are to treat you. Because have you ever like been around somebody who just kind of like lets people walk all over them, and then you're like, oh, like they will tolerate absolutely anything. But in order to get people to respect you and to like value you, you have to value yourself and let it be known what you will and will not allow. So yeah, set boundaries. But anyways, back to like more confidence tips. Okay, this is another very simple yet maybe a difficult task, but how you treat yourself is how other people will treat you, right? So the way you talk about yourself, that's how other people will talk about you or think about you. So from here on out, you need to stop bringing attention to your insecurities, to things that you feel self-conscious about, okay? You think your nose is big? I don't want to hear it. Don't belittle yourself. Don't self-pity yourself. Don't talk about yourself like that. Like, if you're over here saying, oh my gosh, my nose is so big, oh my gosh, I'm so fat, oh my gosh, like all these things, then other people are going to pay attention to that about you, and that is what they're going to notice, like moving forward. Because I feel like a lot of the time people don't even notice your insecurities unless you bring it up. And that is something that my friends have always told me, like, Elizabeth, you are so confident. You've always been so confident. And I'm like, I haven't? No, I'm not. Like, absolutely not. In my head, it's just chaos up here. But I realize it's because, like, when they talk down on themselves, I don't chime in. I don't contribute to that talk. I kind of just stay silent, or I change the subject. I don't want to talk about, like, what I'm insecure about, because what does that do for me? And I feel like obviously people do it because they want to beat somebody else to the punch. Like, oh, I know my ears are so big, or like, oh, my nail beds suck. Mean girls. But yeah, I think it does the opposite of what you want it to. It's like people weren't even thinking of that, but now they are, and it's just, yeah. So don't talk bad about yourself. Your word is so powerful, and that will bring me into my next my next tip, which is the power of affirmations. Seriously, like, I am statements. I am confident. I am beautiful. I am worthy. Say it over and over again. I don't care how delusional you sound. You are going to believe that if you keep saying it enough, okay? Like, our brain is very powerful, you guys. And, like, the more you're, like, saying a thought, even if it's not true, you can believe it. And so that's why it's so important to say intentional things in your head, okay? So, I am worthy of love, which is true. I am beautiful. I am naturally beautiful. I don't need any enhancements. I don't need any procedures. I am loving myself just the way I am. And the more you say it, and honestly, like, even just affirmations, video affirmations where they just say it for you, it really helps. And I have legit fallen asleep to affirmations, and I feel like I wake up so refreshed. So be so intentional, and, like, get a journal, write down your affirmations in the journal. Literally, like, this one gave me affirmations on the side, and it's like, I wake up every morning feeling empowered. I cherish the journey I am on. I have everything I need to succeed. That was a big one in my life. I already have everything. There's nothing more that I need, because people have done everything with less than I have. And it's not to, like, compare journeys, right? But it's like, everything you need is right here. Right here. All you need is, like, truthfully, I just feel like you just need a voice. And getting confidence in who you are will allow you to strengthen that voice. Okay, my next tangible tip. I love this journal, by the way. I know I said this wasn't, like, a productivity video, but this is a life and style journal from Intelligent Change. And confidence is having a routine too. Truthfully, like, when you have a morning routine, you feel like you are so, like, mentally prepared for your day, and you're like, oh, if I could do that, I could do other things. If you have a to-do list and you're checking things off, you are empowered in that. You can stick to your word, and you can get things done. So, like, literally getting a journal, getting a planner. This is a journal and planner in one, which is why I love it. And you'll have, like, your affirmations, what you're grateful for on the side, and then you'll do your time blocking on the right side. And just, like, checking things off is building your self-trust. Because the more self-trust you have, the more confident you are in yourself. Like, I stick to my word. I do the things that I say I'm going to do. Period. All right, next one, fitness. Okay, this, I'm going to try not to talk about this one for a long time because I could say a lot, but literally get a fitness routine down. I don't care what get ClassPass. ClassPass lets you go try a bunch of different classes in your area. Like, you get 2 weeks free, and you can go to any class, any time of day. They have yoga, Pilates, boxing, dance. I started taking twerk classes, and I have been going every single week for, like, a couple months. Seriously, so freaking empowering. Like, whatever it is that you feel like you want to improve on, know that you can, and then set the intention and set the actions, okay? Like, I've always felt insecure about dancing, especially when I go out to the bars or the clubs and, like, my friends are dancing and they look cute and whatever. Even in church, like, they'll dance and I'm just like, I can't dance. I have no rhythm. But know that you can change that. And so I started doing ClassPass, taking twerk classes. And it's like twerk, cardio, dance. Like they do other things, but like twerking in a room of people, I think that's the most like, that's worse than, giving a public speech, in my opinion. And so showing myself that I can work through that and getting better and better at it and then more confident, and slowly I'm caring less about what other people think of me, that is so powerful. So dancing, I feel like that could be a topic on its own, but fitness, like having a routine, whatever it is, running, boxing, maybe Pilates. Like I personally like started weightlifting, or that was my first true love, was weightlifting. I've been doing it for years now, but that alone, like just sticking to a workout routine gave me the confidence I needed before I even got any physical transformation. Okay, like I looked exactly the same, but mentally she was transformed. She was like, I can be strong, I am strong, I can do the things that I say I'm going to do, and I'm badass. So get a workout routine. Do not neglect your physical health. Do not neglect your mental health. But like, seriously, like I feel like when people make sacrifices, they usually sacrifice their workout. I don't know why, but that should be the most important thing in your day. Like the physical health, and then also something for your mental, whether it's like therapy, whether for me, like to be honest, right now it's just journaling, but like I feel like that's the mental love that I need. So yeah, do not neglect your fitness journey. If you don't know where to start, leave a comment. Like I love fitness, I love like specifically weightlifting, but if you, oh my gosh, this is my time to plug Girl Gains. If you're in college too, there's a female weightlifting club called Girl Gains. We're on 100 college campuses. I started it at San Diego State, and it's just a empowering community of women who literally just want to see you PR and do well and achieve your goals. And everyone's super sweet. I feel like the people that are in there, they obviously want more for themselves, and that portrays onto like the love that they put into their relationships. So join Girl Gains, or you could start your own at www.girlgains.co. Okay, next one. That's actually a good segment, is joining a club. Like I said, surrounding yourself with confident people, the people that you want to be like. Joining a club can help you get there. Even just like joining a club. I know that there's like fitness clubs in my area. There's PB Run Club. If you're in San Diego, there's like 200 people that go running twice a week, and it's like a social club. So whatever you want to be like, be in that setting, okay? You want to be a weightlifter? Join a weightlifting club. You want to be a dancer? Join a dance team, So just surround yourself with the people that you want to be like. Okay. Next one, finding your style. So this is in, your hairstyle, your clothing style, the style of which you want to have your room. Okay, style in all physical forms, but literally, like if you need inspiration, I would get Pinterest and I would start creating boards, okay? Find whatever your eyes are drawn to. Oh, I really like that for some reason. And notice a pattern of the things that you like. And then over time, you can start to acquire different pieces. My favorite way to do it is like having the Pinterest board, looking at it here and there, adding to it, and then like going thrifting or going, I went to like Marshall's and I got these bracelets because this was on my vision board, my Pinterest board. And so this was like one purchase. And then slowly you get more and more things that add to your wardrobe. And over time, you have a staple wardrobe that you feel good about. I feel like one of the most frustrating things that I've dealt with growing up is like hating my clothes, not having anything to wear. Like I don't even want to go because I have nothing to wear, or I don't like how my hair looks. So getting to know your style and what you like, and then practicing it before you have something to go to. Like don't wait for the moment that you need to have the outfit. Like you should start experimenting before that. And even like with hairstyles, like I have nowhere to go today, but I tried this Sophia Richie, and I saw this on Pinterest. I tried the Sophia Richie slick back bun, and I think she's cute. Like I didn't even think that I would look good in slick back hairstyles, but I like it. So just experiment and like try new things. If you're not happy with your hairstyles, how can you fix that? Maybe you can get a haircut that you like. Maybe you can, try adding different products to it. And then for makeup, I would watch different makeup tutorials with the face structure that you have. For me, my friend taught me this makeup look that I've been doing. I mean, I didn't really put that much makeup on today, but overall, like, I feel pretty happy about like having an everyday makeup look that I feel like right now flatters me. Maybe I'll look back and be like, girl, what were you doing? But yeah, so go on Pinterest or wherever you need to get inspiration. Sometimes I even just like, literally, I was saying my church has the best style, the people that go there, and sometimes I want to take pictures of their outfits, which I feel like nobody would be opposed to letting you do that. But yeah, that's why I love New York so much, because everyone has such good style there. But yeah, even just following girls on the internet. But I would say, like, don't buy everything at once. Just like slowly get more and more things to build your wardrobe so that you're very intentional about it. Okay, my last point is assume the best. This is another shout out to TikTok, to be honest. This girl or somebody was saying that we fear what people think of us, and we assume that people are thinking mean things about us, right? Like when I'm coaching my fitness classes, sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, they hate me. But how messed up is that of me to assume that they are thinking mean things about me? You are assuming the worst in people when you do that. To think that somebody is super judgmental towards you, and I'm not saying obviously there are judgmental people, but like to just look at someone and be like, oh my gosh, she's calling me a bitch in her head. Like, why do we think that? Why is that the first assumption? We assume the worst in people. And we need to do the opposite. We need to be like, wow, that person looks really nice. That person's probably thinking about, honestly, they're probably thinking about themselves. I feel like when I'm talking to someone, they're thinking about what they're going to say next or like how they are being perceived. And just remember, like, you are perceiving that person too, and they're being perceived. So in their head, they're conscious, like, back to evolutionary, purpose is like we have a wiring in our brain to like be filtering what we're saying. Some people are more self-aware than others, but like, you want to make sure that you're not saying or blurting out things that are disrespectful. You're more conscious of that. So people are either thinking of themselves, or let's just assume the best and that they're thinking highly of us or they're thinking something nice. Especially if someone's staring at you. To be honest, I only stare at people when I'm admiring them. So I definitely know that I have like a RBF when I'm looking at people, but I'm just like, if I'm looking like this at you, it's like, I'm like, oh my gosh, she's so pretty. Wow, like, I love her outfit. So from here on out, we're assuming the best. And even if it's delusional, like, even if that person is being like, wow, that girl's hideous, right? Which to me, psychology is they're unhappy with themselves and they're projecting, but whatever. But yeah, even if they are thinking that, you can be in La La Land up here and be like, oh my gosh, they're admiring my hair today. So assume the best. Okay, let's round it up. Let's summarize it because I know this is a lot. Number 1, be as you wish to seem, aka think of the person you admire. What would they do in your situation? Number 2, find people that exude the energy that you want and join clubs. You can join girl gangs, but yeah, surround yourself with the people that you admire or want to be more like, even on social media. 3 is fitness, specifically like for me it was weightlifting, but you could also try ClassPass or different forms of fitness. Running, walking, whatever empowers you and inspires you, but never neglect it, okay? It comes first. And also, side to fitness is dancing. I think that that's so fun if you're into that. I mean, even if you're not into it, go to a twerk class and tell me you're not having fun. Next is finding your style. So getting a Pinterest board, trying to identify what you like and what your eyes are drawn to, and then over time, like, look for those items in this, like, you don't have to spend a lot of money. Thrift stores, Marshalls, TJ Maxx. And lastly, assume the best, okay? People are thinking highly of you, and own it. Oh, I forgot to mention, write your affirmations. Speak positively about yourself too. Assume good intentions, but also set the example that you need to set. Have your boundaries. Speak highly. Don't bring attention to your insecurities. And journal. I'm like, and. Okay, but yeah. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this helps, and I'm sorry if it was chaotic, but like, that's how I'm feeling today. I had coffee, and yeah, that's how I'm feeling. Anyways, if this helped, please let me know. Comment below. And make sure if you're listening to this on the podcast, please give it a thumbs up or rating wherever you are. And if you're on YouTube, please subscribe. Bye.